What's up YouTube, ODST General back again with one of Arma 3's best mods, the simply named SC mod. So you guys can thank this video to Ryan Cox. He was the one who kind of commented on one of my older videos from 2 years ago about how my video was missing a bunch of content. And I was like, well, that's all there was 2 years ago, so I went and checked it out, and there actually just happened to be an update today for this very mod. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with SC mod, it's kind of a vague name. This is actually a kind of a wildland firefighting mod. It's centric around aircraft like helicopters and planes and stuff. You can actually see one of the planes is already taken off from the airfield there in the background. You're gonna see a little bit of content here in the start. I got just had a little bit of fun and threw in some guys doing some ambient animations, and so you're gonna see some like firefighters and a couple of vehicles in here that don't belong to the mod. The majority of these trucks do. These big red ones right here. All the firefighters are add-ons from another mod, and then the two apparatus on the end are also separate add-ons, respectively. Everything you're going to see in here is either default Arma content or add-ons from the SE mod. All the planes, helicopters, all that stuff is SE mod. And there's actually a couple of planes that are still not included in this. You can see there's the second plane just took off. He's circling in the air now. We're going to have one helicopter on standby, and then we should have 3 planes provided this guy can take off properly. He looks like he might be struggling just a tad bit. If we have to, we'll try to take control of him or something. Although, I'd prefer not to. But I'm thinking we're going to have to here. So all these mods in here are just kind of the default fictional ones. And then there's a whole bunch of actually realistic ones, which are actually a lot cooler than these, to be honest with you. But these are still all really neat. Some of these weren't in the last video I did. I can't remember exactly which ones were and were not. This one right here in front of me, I think this was the main one. They're the only one I used in the last video. So most of these ground vehicles are new since the last time I've played. All the planes are definitely new. There's a lot of new stuff. Right now we have the dynamic fire system on, which will mean that at some point randomly there will be a fire that pops up. Alternatively, I also have the burn script on, which you just sync to a player. And when you select it from whichever player it's sync to, you get into a map like this, you just left click and it actually sets up a fire automatically. Basic teleport script, which works the same way, and then the commander system for the helicopters and the aircraft. You gotta be a little bit careful with the helicopters just because they can get a little bit funky sometimes. Oh crap, please tell me I didn't. Oh shoot, I did. Oh man. Okay, so whoops. I accidentally just started a fire here because that was the last thing I had selected. Oh man. One of the coolest things though about this new version, I gotta get out of here before this spreads towards me. One of the coolest things about this though is that when you get by this fire, it actually really truly feels like you're in a wildfire. The closer you get to it, the darker it gets. Looks like that plane's just shut off. I might have to restart this because I screwed that up. We're actually gonna get to see this stuff in action right away though. Apparently there's a fire near the airport of Tanoa, so who would have known? Probably the guy who accidentally started it. So it's kind of hard to tell, but he is actually dropping some sort of extinguishment. I don't know what the proper terminology for that would be. Extinguishment, I guess. In that particular case, on there you can actually see that both of them. You really can't tell it from the ground level, but they hit that fire pretty hard. They actually completely wiped out. The only fire that still exists is the default Arma fires on the vehicles. Sky clears up. Weather totally changes. We're going to see, though, if we can't get this other aircraft born. We do have 2 aircraft still in the sky as far as planes go, and then we've got our helicopter. So in order to switch by default, I actually think I screwed this up. I don't think I'll be able to. Is you have to press U twice. Yeah, I don't have either the helicopter or any of the planes actually set as playable, so that's not really going to work. So I guess we'll just wait a minute here and we'll get a little bit better view of a fire from above when one pops up. Now there's definitely performance issues I've had with this. I switched to 62-bit and it seemed to help a little bit at first, but I don't know if it's like the AI and stuff being added in again, but its frames are back down already. I don't know what my frames are showing on your guys' end, but on mine I'm getting like 11 frames a second, which, you know, sometimes that sort of thing you have to expect with Arma. Even on a good rig, Arma's not a well-optimized game most of the time. I mean, there's so many issues. But it is what it is. So it's looking like it might not want to do a call out. I'm not sure. Another thing I'm unsure of how to do yet is how to get AI aircraft to actually resupply. Yeah, it's not doing any callouts or anything, so we're going to go ahead, and you guys did now see this commander system, so I'm just going to really quick show you again. This is the commander system. There's, like I said, ways to control individual aircraft. I don't know how to do that. But we could send our aircraft up here. We should see this guy go first, I'd imagine, because he's going to be the first one lined up. Another thing I noticed is that aircraft, once they actually hit the target the first time, they don't seem to like to hit it. So I think what you need to probably do as a strategy is actually do what I just did and send them out kind of further away. So when they're sitting there circling around, tell them, no, I need you to go across the island, and then when they get, you know, maybe halfway or something, just have them come back and run again. So there is actually a forest fire, but I guess it's not telling me because of the fire I accidentally triggered. Because it's obviously grown, it's been here for a little bit, and you can tell it's still expanding. One of my biggest gripes in the last version of this was that the fires expanded far too quickly. So I'm glad to see that's been remedied. It's actually possible to fight these now, because you run out of, you know, retardant or water, whatever you just happen to be using, fairly quickly, and it kind of stinks to, like, be like, and I'm empty, like, 10 seconds after you start. So, let's see here. There's, in addition to all the vehicles, helicopters, there is a new flexible tank that came out with this. I'm not sure if this was from this version or an older version that I just hadn't played. But this is the new inflatable or flexible tank that you get for refilling water. Basically, this is for use with helicopters, and you just drop the helicopter over this and do a hover and refill from this pool. This is nice if you're not on a place like Tanoa, where, you know, Tanoa's got all this water. I can just go out to the water, and it makes more sense to land in here. It's easier than trying to get in this little target. But you play on a bigger map where you're like on the inside of Shanaris or something, or like a desert map, yeah, good luck with that. I mean, you'd be screwed. I don't know what you'd do. Planes are the ones that I really don't know how to do. Planes I'm sure they've got a way of refilling them, but it just can't get it figured out. I don't know how. So let's go ahead, cancel that, close this. We're going to go to historical. So these are the historical helicopters here. We're not going to fly most of these. Actually, in fact, I'm going to take crews out of most of them. And we'll fly just a tad bit closer so you guys can take a look at these. So these vary for different countries and stuff like that. So some of these are designed to be based off US. Most of the stuff is based off of French variations. because the guy who created this mod is actually French himself. So you're going to see a lot of foreign text as far as like helicopters and stuff goes. And yes, I know the firefighters I had outside were German. This one we're actually going to start with a crew. And we're going to go ahead and go to the SC mod under the modules. And let's see here, what is this? The 332. So we've got two tanks. We've got the tank for the EC-225 or the 332, or the SA-330 and the 332. I always go for the 330 and the 332. I don't know if it's better, it seems like it probably is. So we're going to go ahead and link that in there. And we're going to just go ahead and, I guess, fight some fires. So I always say this whenever I do a video where I need to fly. Advance warning, I am a terrible pilot. There's a good probability there will be a crash. If I was doing fixed wing, there would definitely be a crash. Oh shoot, you know what, I gotta fix one thing. It helps if I switch from the commander to actually having like player or playable helicopter pilots. In this case, we want player. And so, anyways, I will do a video updating you guys on how to get all this stuff working at a later point. As of right now, I'm still trying to learn some of it myself, just to make sure there's not like anything I'm missing as far as content and stuff like that goes. There's no wind right now. That's kind of nice. Yeah, 14 helicopters, most of which are empty, and we've got 6 aircraft. Once again, most of which are empty. We've only got 3 aircraft actually going in the air, and one of them's probably going to be bugged out, which is going to be that guy again. So realistically, we'll only have support from two aircraft, and I'm not sure how that's going to work because I'm not the commander. I don't know if I'll be able to switch back and forth, or if I switch to the commander, if I'll be able to switch back. So I showed this off the last time I did a video, but because it's been 2 years since that, I'm going to show this off again. Those of you who have just seen this for the first time. So right now this helicopter has got water in it. It works pretty similar to a like weapon, basically. That's why my ears are ringing. That's a terrifying camera angle. Alright, so we're going to put that on. We're going to shut off the auto hover. And we're going to turn on the auto hover so I can open my map and just double check. So there's a forest fire. So as you can see, the notifications are kind of goofy. So I think that might just be directly in your area. Oh. So we do know there is now a forest fire. We still got to resupply just a tad bit, so we're going to start turning around here. Ooh, that was close. Oh! Oh, man. That was retarded. I did not touch the water. Not anything that would have caused it to explode. That should have been fine. That's stupid. You know, I said it was a bad pilot. I said to expect that, but that's not even on me. That's Arma. God, that was ridiculous. Okay, well, on the bright side, we don't need to reload. On the negative side of that, of course, is the fact that we no longer have a forest fire to go fight. So yeah, there's a couple different things that you can get as far as modules go. I do believe the planes are using retardant here. I'm using water. There's also a winch system now that didn't used to be in there. I don't know what the purpose of the winch rope is. I don't know if that's supposed to be like rescue civilians off the ground, because this does have enough seats to carry civilians in the back or something, or if it's used to like winch vehicles and stuff up. There's also a siren. I don't know what the purpose of this is. It's like a 90s cop car siren. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and just throw on some more stuff here. Maybe. It didn't like that, so maybe not. There it goes. That was odd. Just that way we don't get ringing ears. And we've actually got a forest fire here that's pretty close to the airport. So, let's go ahead and shut off auto hover. And you guys can see the smoke from here, I'm sure. Smoke has been vastly improved in addition to the coloring around the fires, in addition to the fires themselves. Smoke was always a big issue in the older versions. It's been, you know, it doesn't like clip through mountains and stuff, at least as far as I've seen so far. So it becomes really difficult to see when you get in the fire. I actually like that though. That's a nice touch. The ambience of the fire, if you want to call it that, is just, it's superb. I wonder why I have two markers here. Okay, so we gotta watch out for friendly air traffic here. I think it's just because we're in the vicinity of the airport still. I don't think they're gonna fight this fire. I'd be really surprised if they did. Looks like it cleared up, but I know there's still a bunch of fire over here, so we're gonna try and... I don't know what the optimal drop height is. I could be a little too high. Obviously, we've already extinguished just a tad bit of this. It's still pretty difficult to see. Down to 31. Definitely something that'd be a challenge, playing from the ground. This is something that you'd actually probably want to play with a few different people. You know, get like one guy on the ground as like a commander or something to kind of relay information for you. Okay, so that I think might have been everything, but we do need to restock either way. So we'll go ahead. We'll resupply water, and then we will go ahead and come back and just do one last flyover, just double check, make sure there's nothing there on the ground. I don't think I ever put my gear up after I respawned back in. That looks kind of silly of me. Okay, so we're all filled up again. So we're going to go ahead and do another fly over that area. It hasn't disappeared yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's still fire there either. I'm not seeing smoke, so that's a good sign. It's looking like it's out. Yep, we just got a new call for another forest fire, which means that one is no longer there. So yeah, it's actually possible to put these things out without having to like spawn like right on top of them now. And that is so wonderful. I mean, you guys just really don't understand. I'll probably be doing more videos on this. I think last time I only did 1 or 2 videos on this, and I really should have done more, but just, I mean, like I said, it was at a place where you could barely play it, just for the fact that it was so difficult. You know, this mod's come a pretty long way just by adding a few units, but really the big thing for this was that it kind of fleshed out the look and feel of the fires. It fleshed out, most importantly, how hard it is to fight them. It looks like they lost a fire truck down there. Alright, I think that's it for that one. We still got enough stuff left here and enough water left in the tanks to actually extinguish any more if anything pops up. But I'm thinking that's everything. Ground's pretty messed up. There's still a lot of smoke in the air, but it's not getting any darker, so I think we're good. Is this another fire already? I think it's a marker I put down. Yep, just another one popped up here behind us, about a mile out. Alright, I think this might just be our last fire, so I'll actually land and check this one out on the ground if I can get over there without crashing here. And because you guys really do get the idea of how this works, and you know, next time we're going to check out, we'll probably check out a plane or something, see how the planes work out. One of them was bugged from what I saw, specifically the planes I have flying around. They don't seem to like people flying them for some reason. No issue with the AI, but when I try to actually put stuff on there, they won't actually fire any of the like retardant or anything. Retardant water didn't really matter what. So this is going to be kind of tricky here. So this is where the fire was, but I think this is where that last one was. That one's going to be pretty tough too. I was kind of hoping for somewhere better to land. It's really intense. I had one pop up right over here earlier when I was testing stuff out. It just felt really intense because it was like right up against the city. You know what we might do is there's actually 3 scenarios that you can get for this that come with the they don't come with it directly, but they're on the workshop and they're linked through the main page. So maybe we'll do one of those next time. Alright, so we've got one of the apparatus down there, but bear in mind those are just for decoration. I don't know if at some point we'll actually see them doing something, but for right now that's nothing they do. This auto hover's gonna kill me. I should just turn it off, but oh gosh, that's gonna be a rough landing. Yeah, it probably would have been easier to land that without the auto hover on. I think Personal Arsenal screwed it up some. This is still up here. I don't know why that's popping up. Have any firefighting tools? I installed some sort of mod that should add some firefighting tools, but I've like not actually checked it out yet. There's a fire axe. That's a fire hose. Oh, that's cool. Can I do this? Okay, so I can't actually turn, but I can kind of turn. I can turn my head. So yeah, you can see this. This is it's pretty intense here. Yeah, there we go. Misleading screenshot, guys, maybe. Check out this awesome new firefighting game. 2017. No? Okay, I won't do that to you guys. That would be mean. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this mod. Ignore that there's some bugs. That's probably from some of the mods I'm running. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that this mod finally updated. A lot of awesome new content for it. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next video.